Damn.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another brand new episode of Mornings with the Outlaw here on a bright and bushy Monday morning. Well, hope you all are a bright and bushy Monday morning. Alex and I are struggling a little bit. Hope you all are enjoying your life, enjoying your days, having a good time. We are back here on a Monday. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, one of your hosts for this show. Joined as always out there from St. Louis, avoiding the crazy men out on their lawns with AR-15s. How are you, Alex Shashek? What's going down?
What? Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know, you can say that anywhere. But yes, you know, I'm a little exhausted, but you know, who isn't? It's a Monday, you know. But you know, screw it. What day? You know, I can just pretty much pretend it's a Friday and just be like, F it. So let's do this. You know.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I want to thank all of you who are watching us live, and definitely people who've signed up for the channel over the weekend. Thank you so much to Paolo, Gil Austria, Daniel Murphy, David Neidart. Really appreciate everybody coming aboard. We finally got back over 13,500, so we're marching towards that 15,000 mark and heading towards the 20,000 mark as well. Sean Barreto in here moderating the chat. Thank you so much, Sean. Keep everybody in line and drop the Streamlabs and Super Chat. Well, the Super Chats you can just do on your own, of course, but the Streamlabs links that's up there, streamlabs.com/John Rocha/says/tip. That's how you do it. It's in the description as well if you want to look it up down there. But yeah, please send in the Streamlabs, send in Super Chats. We talk about so many things today. We're definitely going to jump into some Aretha Franklin stuff a little bit later. Pixar Soul dropped a new little 1-minute teaser. The Boys Season 2 dropped a couple of videos over the weekend as well. But we're going to start off in a really strong place, and that's with the lady Margot Robbie. I mean, so much happening for this young woman in her life as an actress. Burst onto the scene, obviously, with Wolf of Wall Street. And what a way to introduce yourself to the world in so many ways. And then from there has really kind of grabbed her own thing and started her own production company. She's producing her own movie. She's basically in charge of her career. And you gotta like sit back and marvel at that. So many young actresses come into this business and don't necessarily see those venues open up for them. Margot Robbie kicks some doors open, and she is definitely taking control of her career. The next step in it is being a part of the Pirates franchise. After months of rumors, it's now official. She is attached to star in a new Pirates of the Caribbean film at Disney. Christina Hodson, of course, wrote Birds of Prey and Bumblebee, two films that were received well by the critics, but didn't quite burn up the box office in comparison to other pictures in their franchises. She will pen the script. It's going to be a spin-off, or it's not going to be a sequel or a spin-off or a reboot. It's a completely original story that's occurring in the Pirates of the Caribbean universe. And this is different from the one that was announced that Ted Elliott and Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin are working on. Jerry Bruckheimer, however, is producing both of these films. So, Alex, you look at this situation. First of all, are you a fan of this? Do you like her going? Is this a right career move for her? Kind of step in it. We'd heard rumors that Karen Gillan might be someone they're looking at for to play the redheaded pirate that takes over that we see now at the Disney rides. Do you like this idea?
I really do. I mean, like, what's not to love about a female-led, you know, swashbuckling pirate adventure? You know, I'm all for it. I love I really loved Bumblebee. I loved Birds of Prey. I don't think they are perfect films by any means, obviously, but one movie is, you know, but something this movie, the Birds of Prey, was amazing. It is just like the sense of, you know, camaraderie and, you know, the chemistry between all the, you know, the gang, essentially the female gang. And so I would love to see that translated into, you know, this adventure, you know, pirate movie for sure. Margot Robbie, obviously, I mean, I feel like she can do no wrong right now, especially being in this kind of not only producerial role, but she's also involved directly, like her production company as well, like you said. So she seems to be, I am kind of curious if she's not only going to be a part of the cast, if she's also going to be like an active producer working with Disney as well. That's a huge deal for her.
I agree. And, you know, Look, whatever your feelings are about that Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation, certainly there have been accusations on both sides. None of us were there, so wherever you want to land is your own personal thing. You can't deny that that has kind of put a bit of a stain on the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Not financially, it's done well. Even that last movie, which was surprising to a lot of people in terms of the box office success, did well across the world. So, I mean, yeah, having him be a part of it is uncomfortable for a lot of people, but in the end, it didn't really affect the box office. Did it make as much as the top Pirates of the Caribbean movies? No, but it certainly did well. So, I mean, they certainly know that they don't want to 100% walk away from Johnny Depp, but I think they're kind of hedging their bets a little bit here, Alex, by having Margot Robbie, this really powerful female actress who gets a lot of attention and credibility for her work, leading a new story, a new adventure into the Pirates of the Caribbean. And look, we're seeing this with the Joker, right? Joker's essentially a one-off. It was its own thing. Are they going to move the sequel, if there is one, into the overall main universe? We don't know. We've seen bad girls instead of bad boys be part of the same universe. So we've seen this happen in other franchises where they just kind of bounce off. Hobbs and Shaw was a spin-off, but it could have totally been its own thing and as part of the Fast and Furious universe. So there's nothing about this that necessarily is bad, I think, for Margot Robbie and for Disney. It's a win-win all around, and it's fun. Female pirates are fun. I love this idea.
Not enough. Why aren't there more pirate movies? That's what I want. I love pirate movies in general, let alone why aren't there female-led pirate? There's so many amazing like female pirates to really take inspiration from, just saying. So, you know, there's no lack of inspiration. Why aren't they being made? What the heck? Well, something, not only, I think everything you're saying, you know, is definitely on point, but someone I'm really excited that's going to be directly involved, you know, not only is going to be, I don't know if he's going to be the writer or producer, but, you know, he was actually one of the writers and creators behind Chernobyl from, I think it was Showtime or HBO. His name is Craig Mazin. I feel awful if I'm mispronouncing it right. But, you know, I really love the idea of him also getting involved, just because I think Chernobyl was a really great show. You know, not only, you know, depicting, it was based off real events and everything, obviously, but Chernobyl had such a real tactile grittiness and that's really based on realism that is, I think, would translate so well to this adventure, because, you know, obviously as it went from a really cool, it started off being not only just a really cool adventure, you know, fantasy adventure with pirates and everything, but now it's like so much more than that. You know, it's like huge worlds. There's like giant octopi, and there's the Kraken and huge zombies. There's so much more involved now. So I would like to bring it down and ground it a little bit more to the pirate aspect and just like getting some of that grittiness back.
Yeah, there are a lot of pirates, as you said. There are a lot of female pirates. People may not know this, but there were. Go do your history about and research. Anne Bonny being one of them. Mary Read was a pirate that you should take a look at. Sadie the Goat. Guine Tituya Valeria, back from the Dead Red. That's what she was called. She was the daughter of a Frenchman and Haitian woman in 17th century, a real name Jacote de la Hoya. The Lioness of Brittany, Anne du Levout, Saïd Al-Hura, and then, of course, Ching Shi. So there's a lot to go and take a look at if you want to do some research, do some Googling for yourself that you can enjoy here with the pirate situation, a female pirate situation that they may base some of her characteristics on. So there's certainly a wealth of that information to explore. You mentioned Craig Mazin. Mazin is involved with the other one, Alex, the other one they're doing with Rucker. Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's Mazin and Ted Elliott are doing one that's going to be like the continuation of whatever they established there with the Johnny Depp one. The other one is just going to be Christina Hodson and Margot Robbie. And, you know, this comes on the heels of the fact that Christina Hodson has already written like we said, Bumblebee and Birds of Prey, but also The Flash, which just, of course, had Michael Keaton announced is coming back to be a part of it. And, of course, Batgirl. She's been working on Batgirl as well, which Joss Whedon walked away from after supposedly being unable to crack the story Robbie, we've seen her be on Bombshell, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You see that Lunchbug? Oh, you can't see my Lunchbugs right now, I guess. And also, she's going to be in Suicide Squad coming up. And a lot of people didn't receive Birds of Prey 100% as well as the studio was hoping for, but critics-wise, it's a really beloved film, and people enjoyed it on the critic side of things. Didn't quite hit the box office notes they were hoping for, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie necessarily. Also, Robbie and Hudson together in 2019, they launched this collaboration called Lucky Exports Pitch Program. It's a new initiative aimed at getting more female-identifying writers hired by studios to write action-centric movies. So this is good. This is a genre that has not usually seen a lot of female-led movies in it. I mean, the action genre. So this could be a foray into that, and also see what kind of producing power these ladies really have in Hollywood to kind of encourage other writers to step in, because Christina can't write everything. They got to bring new writers in to be a part of this program. This sounds great and exciting, don't you think?
Yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled about that idea. You know, we always talk about how we want, more female-oriented stories.
Yeah.
We want, female, like, not only just that, but we just need more female characters and everything. But especially as far as like the action, adventure, like thriller genre in particular, usually it is from the point of view of, male characters. And that's totally fine, except, when writing about female characters, there's female characters in these genres. It's usually through, I don't know, I can't remember the word that I'm looking for, but obviously I can't remember. But it's essentially they're so focused on the male character.
Oh, right. They're there to facilitate the male lead, is what you're trying to say.
Not only that, but I mean, they're not a full blown out character.
Right.
And that's usually reflected because of the writing. And sometimes in a lot of writers, directors and everything, J.J. Abrams and a lot of people included, they're like, well, you're right. It never occurred to me to kind of do it that way. And it's not something I don't think like a lot of writers or directors or anything are just aware of. It's just, they're at the end of the day, they're a guy. They're going to write from their points of view, as they should.
Yeah.
So we just need to get more females involved in, or like I said, just more women identified writers in the room. Just to get that point of view.
I don't disagree with you at all. I think it's time. It's beyond time. And, I've never known anything that could suffer from having more points of views in the room. Anything is good. Having more approaches, more interesting looks at things, more interesting takes on genres that have already been around for a long time.
You never want too many writers in a room. If I find out there's 10 screenwriters on one script, I'm like, what's wrong here?
That's fair. That's absolutely fair, actually.
Here? But that's a very different conversation now.
Right. Sure. You want to have a lot of point of views represented, so you have a fleshed out film, more nuanced film, and I don't know, just a more complete film overall. Andrew G sends us a super chat here. Andrew G said, anyone a fan of Cutthroat Island with Gina Davis? No, and I'm not a fan. I interviewed Matthew Modine last year, and he spoke about Cutthroat Island, and he thought that Gina and Rennie took way too much crap for that film, and that there had been a different cut, a different version of it, but the studio hadn't got involved and kind of messed with it. So I don't know. I'm not saying release the Rennie Harlan cut, release the Rennie cut, but I'm just saying there's probably more to that story than people have initially believed about that. But yeah, not a good movie at all, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. But is it a fun time?
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm saying that as someone that just watched Highlander for the first time. So
yeah, me too.
That movie time? Oh. Yes. Is it a bad movie? More yes.
Yes. Clancy Brown's good. Everything else, and that Queen soundtrack, good. Everything else.
Just say that weird lightning special effects situation. I was like, what is this? Is this like Ninja Turtles circa
it's the 80s, Alex? It's the 80s. Give us a break. It's the best we can do.
I understand it's the 80s, but even the 80s had better, had better effects for his TV commercials. It was ridiculous. But I was so here for it. I was like, again, this was a great time. I mean, it's so bad.
Fair enough. All right, we got 116 of you all, 128 of y'all, sorry, watching us. No, let me correct that. 140 of y'all watching us live, but only 61 likes. So please swing that cursor over there, or swing that mouse over there. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button, and get us over 100 likes as quickly as possible, and so we can start marching towards 150 likes. And don't forget, the Super Chats and the Streamlabs are open. Would love to get some of your comments. Hey, it's Monday morning. Support us. Get us going here as we go into July 4th weekend, and have something going on there. And Alex and I need to have conversations because I will be out of town this weekend, so I don't know what we're going to do. Either we just go silent or go dark on Friday, or maybe Alex and I can do a quick Q&A with you all. Maybe send in some questions, and Alex and I can find some time to do something on Wednesday morning and record it and then drop it on Friday for you. We're going to get into conversations about that after the show, I think. So anyway, just letting you know, Friday, something different will be popping up for Mornings with the Outlaw on Friday, if at all. So there you go. So how about sending your Streamlabs and Super Chats in on a Monday morning and helping us start the week in a positive direction? All right. Thank you, Sean, for putting that up there. There's the Streamlabs address. Let's move on to our second story here, and wish Margot Robbie luck. I mean, I think both of us want to have fun enjoying another Pirates movie, so seeing her take the lead on it can be an exciting situation for everyone involved. Something that's not that exciting, that's Mulan. There you go, Mulan. Oh man, is this a situation we got to talk about? It got pushed again. Alex, we kind of anticipated this was happening after Tenet got pushed, but it's the third time that it has been delayed. So this basically ends the summer season for movies here. It's not going to be, this one's pushed now to August 21st. It was supposed to debut on July 24th in the latest push, and now they pushed it all the way back, almost a whole month, to August 21st. Disney co-chairman and chief creative officer Alan Horn and co-chairman Alan Bergman released a statement that said, while the pandemic has changed our release plans for Mulan, and we will continue to be flexible as conditions require, it has not changed our belief in the power of this film and its message of hope and perseverance. Director Nikki Caro and our cast and crew have created a beautiful, epic, and moving film that is everything the cinematic experience should be, and that's where we believe it belongs, on the world stage and the big screen for audiences around the globe to enjoy together. So you look at this was something this was coming, wasn't it, Alex? We kind of anticipated that this was going to be moved as soon as Tenet got moved. Is anything getting lost here in the constant movement of Mulan versus the constant movement of Tenet?
I don't think so. Well, I just feel like I'm glowing right now just because of the light I have. I just feel like anyway. You're bright. I'm very bright right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't do anything to the light, which is really weird.
You know
but
what?
anyway.
It's bright. Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. But I have to say, in the wise words of Rihanna, blank better have my money.
Oh.
So
I don't
feel me. And so Disney, they're protecting their asset. And Mulan is definitely one of the most, upon reflection of, and everything going on right now.
Yeah.
Mulan is one of those stories that they're like, we need this.
Yeah.
This one in particular is like, it's not only that's very sound, it's a very sound movie because not only it was like it was actively involved with getting so many people like Chinese people directly involved in everything, not only on camera but also behind the scenes. They need this movie to be a success in order to see how it's going to influence future projects as well. So I'm not surprised. You gotta do what you can. I mean, I wouldn't want to see it in July, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're seeing now, and this is all coming because of the coronavirus situation, the spikes in Los Angeles. Not there's other spikes in New York, but the continuing situation in New York. But now you've got Florida and Texas and so many big states having these issues.
Florida has more cases than all of Europe.
Yeah, Florida has more cases than all of Europe. You're absolutely right. Houston is a hotbed as well, unfortunately. Shout out to our friends Brad Gilmore and Booker T down there. Hope they're staying safe. But yeah, I mean, there's so many places that are spiking, and that's going to affect the box office. People do not want to run back and see a movie to the levels that you think. And the backlash that people are getting for going to events or going to mass gatherings is also building on social media. I saw this reading this morning on Yahoo. A couple of country singers posted videos of themselves public, crowded concerts, and their own fellow country singers went after them on Twitter for doing that, which I was really surprised by. Usually country singers don't turn on country singers. That was kind of surprising to see them saying, hey, it's great that you got those people there, but now you're putting them, their family members, and anyone else who comes in contact with these people possibly at risk. So that could happen. If you go into a movie theater and it's crowded, some idiot's going to take a picture and post it. And people are too nice to be like, hey, 6 feet, 6 feet. Not everyone's going to be trying to enforce the social distancing situation. So, you could get into a situation there where you could get like vilified for being in a movie theater and you had no idea it was going to be that full. So it's all of that kind of plays into this, I think, as well. Mulan cost $200 million to make, Alex. So they certainly want to get their money back, and it's supposed to do really well in China. And, no one's talking about the fact that it didn't get that great of reviews from the critics. It was kind of mixed with the initial screening that they did at the El Capitan that only certain members of the press were allowed to go to. It was a little bit mixed, some of the reactions. So even if it does come out, I think the delay is hurting Mulan more than the delay is hurting Tenet. Everybody knows that they're going to go see this Christopher Nolan film. If Mulan comes out and the reviews are kind of middling or not that great, then I don't think it's going to hit that box office number that people were hoping for. And at the end, they may be like, well, maybe we should have dropped it on Disney Plus. Then again, a friend said to me, well, if you drop it on Disney Plus, you're not going to get that $20 like you would get with King of Staten Island. People are just paying like $7 for the streaming service. Yeah.
I mean, this movie in particular, I don't think it's going to be a huge financial success here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
However, this movie is going to make so much money in China.
You think so? Okay.
So much money in China. Okay. A lot of the stars that are involved are huge stars. So I can't remember her name, but the chick that plays Mulan, she is one of the most bankable stars in China. She does like a ridiculous amount of movies, and every movie that she makes is a huge box office success overall. Yeah. She's considered, the real goddess of China right now. And I base that off of like a lot of the Chinese dramas that I watch, so I'm a little biased. I love my Asian dramas. What can I say?
I like it.
But her in particular, she is not only incredibly beloved, she is like the it girl right now. Lu Fei. Thank you so much, MK Songbird.
Yeah.
So I really wouldn't be surprised if people come out in droves to see this, in spite of including wearing a mask, because of her, because it is still being aggressively pushed.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I might go if I get to wear a Mulan mask. I might go. That'd be kind of cool to wear a Mulan mask. I bet it'd be decorative and quite gorgeous to wear, for sure.
Well, if it was guaranteed that you maintain a safe distance and everything, you would do it.
Yeah, of course. I think I would. Yeah. I mean, I go to the grocery store and I walk by people without the 6 feet of distance. So, I mean, you're there. Everyone's wearing a mask, though. As long as everyone's wearing a mask, I got no problem sitting the 6 feet of distance. If people start coughing and sneezing, you know how old people are in theaters. I don't want to get that crap on me. Or kids who might be at this theater, I don't want to get their crap on me. No offense to your children. I don't want them spreading that crap to me. So it's just like, in my mind, yes, if it's a room full of critics and that we're all practicing the social distancing, I think that's a room that absolutely would practice it. I think critics would absolutely do it. Not known for having the healthiest of immune systems, so I can't imagine they wouldn't be like, hey, get away from me, keep my distance, blah blah blah. So I think I'd have no problem with that. So yeah, there we go. That's the way I feel about it. But we'll see. I just feel like, and also, Mulan has some controversy because you mentioned that star, a couple other actors as well, kind of speaking out about what's going on in what had been going on in Hong Kong. So a lot of controversy surrounding this movie, and already having been moved 3 times. I wonder if the gas is coming out of the desire to see this movie. And you might be right, Alex. You might be right. It might blow up the box office globally.
I only say that at China, though.
Okay.
I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know how it's going to be here in the U.S.
Right.
Also, a lot of people are like low key pissed.
Yeah.
This is not a musical.
Yes, true. That's true. But then again, which is it? Do you want The Lion King or do you want Mulan, like it's the thing. People have to decide in these live action adaptations, and maybe it's a case by case basis.
Yeah.
Maybe with Lion King, they wanted the songs, but they didn't want a shot for shot remake of the movie.
Exactly.
And with Mulan, maybe they wanted a new, interesting take, but with some of the songs still in there. So it's just you start to kind of veer into this whole thing of like, well, what do people actually want from these live action movies? Because clearly Disney made $1.6 billion off Lion King. So however much we had an issue with it, they made their money. They're quite fine with what they did. I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, Streamlabs, like I said, and super chats are up. Here we go. Bruce Bain sent in a Streamlab. He said, to deflect any backlash, I think Margot has to invent something new here. Not just impersonate Depp, but forget the iconic traits too. She must be herself, a new character altogether, albeit a rude drunk one who's somehow likable. Oh, and well done for Liverpool there, Rocha. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Bruce Bain. I appreciate that. Well, all right, Alex. Yeah, right. Margot, I mean, there's no shock. Or there's no thing. I mean, Margot is going to make her own character here. There's not going to be any Johnny Depp traits to what she's doing, don't you think?
Yeah, I think you're totally right. There's no word of whether this is going to be a sequel or a reboot or anything. We're not entirely sure. I just love the idea of creating, like, I wish anthologies were more of a thing in movies and, TV shows and everything, much more than they already are. But also this one, I would just love to see in this world. I would just love to see just another story within this already ridiculous and fantastical world. It's already so cool. So I just want more female characters in it. I mean, there's like less than 5 main female characters. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
In the entire franchise, there's like 10 movies. Come on now. You can do better.
It's a fair point. But it is going to be its own movie. That's the thing. And the other one is going to be its own movie. It's going to be part of that, what we'd already seen established. So there's 2 different Pirates movies coming in the same universe. So Margot certainly will have its own kind of point of view, its own characters, its own perspective. Maybe you'll hear about, Captain Jack Sparrow mentioned. Maybe you'll hear about Barbossa or any of the other villains. Who knows in passing. But I don't think they're going to try and make it. Maybe there'll be a cursory connection at best, but they won't make it the point of the movie.
Do you think we might get a Zoe Saldana pirate character cameo?
Why not? I'd love that.
Like, considering she was involved like in the first movie. Girl, like for a scene.
Yeah, sure.
And I know everyone was super pissed that wasn't expanded on.
Right.
I would love to see her come back and be like, and she ended up like training or mentoring her or something. I don't know. That'd be really cool.
Totally possible. Wouldn't that be interesting to have the person of color train the white person? That would be interesting as well. Kind of maybe that turn things around a little bit. Remember, everyone, if you want to see, there it is. Ask us Streamlabs, ask us Super Chats. We roll through this Monday. We're hitting it hard. Because it's a Monday, and we got almost 200 y'all watching us live. 186 y'all watching us live. What's that?
Keep the lights on.
Yeah, keep the lights on in the Outlaw Nation, people, for God's sakes. 186 y'all, 104 likes. All right, let's start marching towards 150 likes before we wrap up the show here, coming up in a little bit. Don't forget, I'll be hosting today on SEN Live. That's going to be a lot of fun with the gang and the crew over there. The Monday crew getting back together. That's going to be a lot of fun as well. All right, let's move on to our second story here, or our third story rather, Alex, and that is Soul. Pixar released a new 1-minute teaser for Soul. I mean, they are just this is their baby, not Onward. Onward was like, let's put it out there and let's see what happens. But Soul, they're putting a lot of time and effort and marketing into Soul. A friend of mine, like I said, how can I say this? A source, not a friend, but a source in the company told me that they really feel like Soul was the one that they wanted to focus on to possibly get an Oscar or to be nominated for a Best Animated Feature. They felt this was the better film, so they had cut the marketing for Onward to spend that money in the marketing for Soul. And so far, we've seen some really great stuff from the marketing and the trailers. This was a new 1-minute one, kind of showed a typical day in the life of the main character, Joe, who is voiced by Jamie Foxx. He's a middle school band teacher, has these quotes, music is life. You just need to know where to look. Spend your precious hours doing what will bring out the real you, the brilliant, passionate you that's ready to contribute something meaningful into this world. Get ready. Your life is about to start. The film is being billed as Joe, who dreams of being a jazz performer, but before he gets his big break, an unexpected accident causes his soul to be separated from his body. He's transported to the great before, a fantastical place where new souls get their personalities, quirks, and interests before going to Earth. There he teams up with a fellow soul named 22 that's voiced by Tina Fey. The pair works together to return Joel's soul back to his body on Earth before it's too late. All right, Alex, were you able to watch this? What do you think of this 1-minute teaser?
This was actually a 2-minute and 20-second full-on situation. It was great.
Okay.
It was a fun time. At least the one that I saw was like it was over 2 minutes, and they had so much new information about it. I thought it was really cool, kind of a lot more clarification about where he is, what happened to him, and why his like soul is kind of in this kind of weird limbo situation. What I am most excited about is just how quotable this movie seems to be. I watched it just right before this, and I was just surprised at how many little quips there were. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't be laughing right now. So not to mention Tina Fey, I think she's hilarious in everything. Amy Poehler had her time to shine in Inside Out, as one of the lead characters. And I would love to see Tina Fey shine as, one of the really funny characters in this movie as well. And Jamie Foxx, though, he's fantastic. I'm surprised that we haven't really seen him in voiceover roles up until now, honestly, because he's such a fantastic animated really great musician as well as actor. Yeah,
absolutely. It certainly comes through. The filmmakers for Soul, which includes Pete Docter, who's done a number of great films, including Inside Out, co-director and screenwriter Kemp Powers and producer Dana Murray. They partnered with American anthropologist and educator Dr. Janetta Cole and globally renowned jazz pianist Jon Batiste to offer this sneak peek at the film. And the trailer also features the song, which is really sweet that you heard in this trailer, called Parting Ways, which was written, produced, and performed by Cody Chestnut. So there's both Dr. Cole and Batiste. They lent their expertise to the jazz arrangements and compositions in Soul, which, of course, this is a completely different feeling than we got coming out of La La Land. That idea of, a white kid learning jazz or a white kid teaching jazz, it's just kind of crazy to me in my mind. Not that they couldn't. Certainly, Chet Baker, Jerry Rafferty, there have been jazz people in the past who are white, but it's a predominantly predominant music genre that is full of incredible black artists, and that needs to be respected. When I heard about this happening and I heard about who was involved, I was a little bit concerned. I gotta be honest with you, I was a little bit concerned that they were gonna whitewash jazz and make it real easy to listen to. It was gonna be some smooth crap. It wasn't going to be the real thing. So I'm hoping that what we're getting, as an advocate or as a fan of jazz, multiple LPs of jazz, I want to see something that really kind of touches on what that music means, So it's important for me to see that myself personally. And it seems like they've got the right people involved in this. And we'll see what the effect of this movie is, because we're in such a weird time, Alex. Like our eyes are opening wide open to what's been going on, and maybe bubbling underneath the surface has finally popped through, and everyone is dealing with it. Everyone is talking about it. Multiple fields, entertainment, sports, politics, whatever it is, it's all bubbling above the surface. Is a movie that just gives this the old, go out there and follow your passion. Is that going to be the right message nowadays when people are like, yeah, I'd love to, but, so-and-so won't let me follow my passion, or this systemic situation in our world ain't going to let me follow my passion? Is that going to have a bit of is it going to fall on deaf ears in ways that they wouldn't have before?
I don't know. Honestly, it's just, obviously, we are now more than ever. It is one of the most crucial times, as far as I've been alive, that I can imagine. Across the board. Obviously, there are some groups that are experiencing a million times worse than others. Obviously, so I cannot speak for them and how they would feel about this movie. But what I definitely do need is, for Ryan Gosling to somehow cameo coming up and just be like, hey, let me explain to you what jazz is, main character. Let me tell you the history of jazz and why it's so important to American history and culture. Let me just start up like the best, jazz festival and club in all of New York City or whatever. But anyway, okay. So honestly, I think they kind of learned their lesson from that, honestly. But, I do love this movie. Yes. Soul music. Not so much. Jazz music is going to be huge in this, but 90% of the time they're going to be focused on his soul, where he's just like a blue blob thing. Around. He's going to be a big blah, 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 blah. And so it's same with Tina Fey and all the other people. And it's so non-people, spirit, soul people. that's going to be, it sounds like that's really going to be the focus of the movie. And so it's just going to be emphasizing that. So I am kind of curious to see if there's going to be conversations about colorism and race at all, considering in that movie where they haven't gone to, Earth yet, they're literally, everyone's like bluish green color.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's ever going to be a situation where because there is like a character, she's like, Earth sounds awful. Why would I want to go to Earth?
Right.
I'd be seeing the stuff going on. Like, I wouldn't. That sounds awful. Like, we might be on her side right now.
Yeah, I'm saying it does take some interesting resonance now with what's happening in our world and what's going on, and maybe that's the thing. But I liked about this 1 minute teaser, and you probably saw the full trailer there, but the 1 minute teaser they released is very focused on his family, his world, his grandmother. It's all these people involved, and all black, which I thought was very good because Pixar has never done that. So it was great to see that with Joe. I want this fleshed out world. I don't want them just to be characters with one line, or like, I want to feel this man's world. If you're going to tell me a black story, I want to feel the black culture in the story. And so I don't want cursory acknowledgement of it. I don't want, oh, hey, yeah, I want to see him really kind of, or rather the filmmakers bring that out. And so it sounds to me, Pete Docter and Pixar got the right people involved in this to really kind of showcase the culture and the world that Joe lives in. And I'm looking forward to that. I want them to do well. I'm not cheering against Pixar at all in this situation. I'm cool with people highlighting people of color and bringing their cultures to the forefront in their work, in their media. But I want them to do it correctly. I want them to really flesh it out and not just do the surface stuff. Really kind of get us into this world, help us to understand the world more so, and find the universal aspects of that world and also the unique aspects of their world that make them such interesting things to explore for all of us and educate all of us about each other.
Well, those are really, really great points you're making. I understand where you're coming from. There is a certain level of hesitation going into this movie now, especially. I am kind of curious, how many people of color, or especially people that are Black and African American that are actually involved with this movie behind the scenes. Now, when Pixar made Coco, they took an active effort to employ, people. And to employ Mexican employees, to actually create animators and story builders and everything to create this story. Obviously, cast and everything as well. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they took an active effort for this movie just because Pixar. They have a history, not a huge history, but especially with like Lasseter and everything, they're really, they do not want to step on anyone's toes. They want everyone to back them up. And I think, Pixar is one of those family, centric, oriented, studios and everything that I think everyone can agree makes great work.
Yeah.
So.
For the most part, absolutely.
Anyone can do it. I feel like it is. Pixar.
Yeah, you make a great point. They did well with Coco. Andrew Valdez backs you up here in the chat. So yeah, you're right. They did a great job with Coco. So hopefully they do a good job here. Hey, I've seen people take on. The only reason I have a little bit of trepidation, I've seen people take on Black culture and they don't really kind of explore it. And the people involved in it, like people forget, but Malcolm X, they were trying to get Norman Jewison to direct the movie and not Spike Lee. Spike Lee had to lobby hard to make sure he was the one that directed the movie because he wanted to bring his particular point of view to this story. So I mean, same thing here. I hope the people involved in it. It seems like the people involved in it are the right people involved in it. So I look forward to seeing what the end result is. Anyway, all right, we'll find out soon, very soon. It's coming out a little bit later on this year. All right, Alex, we're on the break situation here right now. Tell us what you got going on. Tell us what you're working on.
Okay, so I host a show called Cinema Bias where we dive into our personal movie biases and everything. And here we are actually going to be covering Warrior here very soon. The movie
nice.
2011 directed by Kevin O'Connor. And we're also going to be doing here on Tuesday Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh. And we're also, thanks to Sean Verta, we're actually going to be doing Wall Street. I've never seen Wall Street. So I'm really excited to dive into that movie. So that's some of the movies we're going to be covering over the next few weeks.
Cool.
And also, I host a show called, I don't co-host it. I created it. It's my show. It's called Schmobates. I do
Okay.
it every single Wednesday. And this Wednesday, I'm going to be having a William Beast Bibiani going up against Daniel Ramirez to really fight and argue to the death, to the blood, to the glory that is Schmodown. So it's going to be really fun as we kind of really wrap up the Tournament of Champions at the Collection Podcast.
Nice. I have a feeling that I'm going to go in there and vote for Danny ahead of time. Can I do that? Can I vote for Danny ahead of time? Or is that
Ahead of time, no, unfortunately.
Just joking. Beast. Just joking, Beast. Just joking. It's funny. We got stuff going on here at the Outlaw Nation as well. And all that sounds great. And you definitely should follow Alex and everything that she's doing. But, give her shows some love, some views. Certainly follow her down there, but on her Twitter. She also has a separate address on Instagram, but it's not difficult to find. You can go find her there.
I don't really do much on Instagram. I'm not going to lie, though.
Oh, you don't do much? Okay, there you go.
I don't. I'm not an Instagram person. I forget to take pictures. It doesn't occur to me to take pictures all that much. I wish I did. Yeah, it doesn't. I have to be reminded to take pictures all the time. I'm
always fascinated people I follow with under 200 followers, but they're constantly on Instagram, Instagram stories and pictures. I'm amazed at how much time they have to do the Instagram stuff when they only have 200 followers. In my mind, I wouldn't do too much of it until I get to 25,000, 30,000 followers. But it's fascinating to watch someone with 200 followers because I'm God, I wish I had that kind of drive to get that many, things up there on Instagram. I'm always amazed that people do so many Insta stories. Like you, I don't think about pulling out the camera and taking a picture all the time or taking a video all the time. Certainly would irritate the shit out of my girlfriend. So to be honest with you, if I started doing that kind of crap. Anyway, but the stuff I am doing is the Outlaw Nation. Really excited about everything we got going on here. Of course, as you know, what you're watching now, Mornings with the Outlaw, so much fun. Got Outlaw Nation. We just had Mike Kalinowski on last week. You don't want to miss that conversation. Already almost 4,000 views on that video. People really enjoy Mike. Such a good guy. I haven't seen him in quite some time because of the COVID situation. So it was great to catch up with my friend of over 20 years and just have some fun busting each other's balls about the Schmodown, about our lives, about getting ready for a competition, about movies, what's going on DC. We talked Zack Snyder. We talked the Michael Keaton situation. So go and watch that on the channel as well. Strong Style. We just did a great Friday episode, almost 1,000 views already on that Friday live episode, talking about Tessa Blanchard's firing, talking about the WWE situation with COVID. We just recorded last night 2 watch-alongs, which the fans have been requesting. So you'll see one of those watch-alongs on Friday. There will not be a live episode of Strong Style. It will be a watch-along episode on Friday, about 45 minutes. Aaron Turner and I rewatching WrestleMania 7, a match between Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter. Pretty patriotic match, so we thought we'd watch it. There also, we got going on the Geek Buddies. Geek Buddies got a new episode dropping on Thursday. We dropped our first live episode last Thursday. I hope you all got a chance to watch. If you hadn't, you should. And for all the patrons, the new debate show will be up soon. It's called the OK Corral. We had 2 members of the Outlaw Nation Patreon rather, go at each other over 3 Batman questions, 3 questions about Batman. So look for that dropping on the Outlaw Nation soon. But to be a part of it, to participate, to debate, you have to go to the Patreon and sign up for that tier. That's right above my head there, patreon.com/John Rocha. Plus, we had some great hangouts over this past week as well. So go and be a part of it. See the multiple tiers you can be involved in and have some fun. The Patreon is bouncing up and down. There's a lot happening there. And of course, the Discord as well, getting involved. So, all right, that's everything for me. Do I look a little fuzzy there? Am I going in and out?
I mean, you did the entire time as you were talking. I don't know if it was just me or if anyone in the chat can verify that, but you looked really pixelated.
Am I good now?
Oh, you're better. You're a lot better, but okay. you're a little fuzzy.
Okay, I'm a little fuzzy, huh? All right. It happens sometimes with this internet connection. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm looking at myself right now. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, that's not good. Okay, all right. Well, maybe I can take myself out of it. Sometimes I never know. Sometimes I have to reboot. You never know. It's the internet, that kind of stuff. I've got the Ethernet cord. I'm going to connect that Ethernet cord at some point down the road. Yeah, there it is. He says 32-bit Rocha. Yeah, it happens. It happens. I do so many of these damn shows. All right. Anyway, let's move on to our next. Oh, wait. Sean Barreto sent in a Streamlab. He said, Alex, please remind me which New York team is the best again? Oh, wow.
What New York team?
Yeah. Is the best team again?
Wait, let me look it up. New York teams, sports teams. Teams.
Wow.
Okay. So do we want to talk about the Jets or the
No,
Knicks?
nobody wants to talk about the Jets
Um,
or the Knicks.
the Knicks. The Rangers. The New York Rangers, right, are superior.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
So
down with the
good job,
Rangers.
guys. New York
Okay.
Knicks and Rangers.
Yeah, no one wants to talk about the Knicks. Why are you talking about the Knicks?
Oh, yeah, interesting.
Bad situation.
Rocha.
Okay.
It's almost like New York City has a whole bunch of really bad teams.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
Crazy.
Strong statements there from St. Louis. All right.
We got the Blues and the Cardinals. Okay.
You do. The Blues and the Cardinals. Two whole teams. Let's move on.
Anything else, man?
Okay. Alex, take us into the next story about Aretha Franklin. What do we got going on here?
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. So a trailer dropped just over the other day during the BET and the Black Entertainment Television Awards show, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it debuted. Mm-hmm. But the trailer for Aretha Franklin's biographical movie is actually the directorial debut of Liza Tommy, who hasn't done any kind of, like I said, movie work. She does, however, has done a lot of TV shows,
mm-hmm.
Such as Insecure, Jessica Jones. I love that. So I'm so excited about that idea. But in this movie, so it's not about her at a certain point in time in her career or anything, but it just mentions about the life and times of Aretha Franklin. So I'm kind of curious where that's going to go. So many people are involved with this, so many stars, so many music personalities as well. Audra McDonald, the Tony Award winning Audra McDonald, she is amazing. Yeah. Forrest Whitaker, Queen Latifah, Mary J. Blige, Tate Donovan, Titus Burgess. Oh my gosh, the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Titus Burgess is amazing. Mark Maron, so everyone, so many people are so great in this trailer, at least that I really enjoyed. But Franklin, she was actually directly involved in the make of this movie in particular. She was directly part of production up until her death when she died, unfortunately, from pancreatic cancer at the age of 76 in 2018. Now, this movie was originally slated to be released in theaters here this fall, I believe in August or September, but obviously with everything going on, they were like, let's take a back pedal, let's release it another time. So there's no word of when specifically they're going to be releasing it, if it's going to be going to stream or not.
Right.
But there is a lot of love for this movie. And now more than ever, I think a lot of, like you said earlier, a lot of movies that focus on the Black stories, a lot of movies that focus on, really great, Black characters and history, and everything, not only in music, but just in general, are really huge now more than ever. So I'm really excited for this. Jennifer Hudson, she is in the title role of Aretha Franklin. And if you're not familiar with who Jennifer Hudson is, what? Come on now. Do better. Okay, do better. Jennifer Hudson, she actually won an Oscar in her feature film debut, being involved with Dreamgirls, the musical. Yeah. So obviously, when it comes to musical chops, I couldn't have picked a better actress to be involved as Aretha Franklin. Yeah. What did you think of this trailer overall, Rocha?
Okay, so this is tough because I'm a massive biopics fan. Everybody who watches Schmodown, they know I'm hard on the biopics because I really like to enjoy them and get lost in them. This one did feel like a TV movie. She's a TV director. And so this trailer at least felt like kind of, let's just check all the boxes and hit all the big events. And there wasn't really that feeling of like, okay, what are we going to get here? Like when I saw the Ray trailer, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. We're getting real deep into this man's issues. But with Aretha, I just feel like if this is just a celebration of her and we don't really see the pain and the anguish and the hurt and the stuff she overcame to get here, not only just finding the songs to sing, that's something out of Walk the Line. That's legitimately a scene right out of Walk the Line where he's like, you got to sing songs that mean something to you. We saw that already. That's Mary J. Blige in that. By the way, Mary J. Blige can do no wrong in my eyes. She's incredible. Loved her in Umbrella Academy season 1. But you see, I wanted to see more from this, right? And I love empowering moments; those are great. But to me, you got to show me some more below the empower moments too, so I can connect to this person's humanity, this person's vulnerability. I want to feel the universality of this person. So I wanted to see more from here. Jennifer Hudson doesn't look like Aretha, so you kind of have to kind of suspend your disbelief. Plus, she's singing the songs like Jennifer Hudson, not necessarily singing them like Aretha. So we'll see. I mean, Aretha's almost an impossible singer to imitate. That's why she was so good. That's why she's the queen of soul. That's why she was so revered for multiple decades by multiple generations. I came away from this trailer going, okay, I'm open to it. It almost felt like this was the continuation of her character from Dreamgirls. It was kind of weird in my head how I felt this kind of continuation, which she won an Oscar for, so there's not a negative, but I wanted to see more. So yes, good first trailer, get you excited. Hopefully it comes, there's more to come. That's the way I felt. I felt like, okay, this is fine. I've seen many trailers like this before. I want something more. So hopefully the next trailer shows me what she's going through, what she had to overcome as an artist, what really inspired her political points of views and her decision to make a stand during the civil rights movements in the 60s. They do reference that famous concert she gave at the church, which became a best-selling LP, and they did Neon did a documentary on it last year. So that's cool that that's in here. So I just want to see more. I want to see a little more. So this is a good, fun first trailer, but I want to see a little bit more. That's my overall reaction.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's just, for me, it really caught my attention. I was really excited about it, but I also love it when it's a biographical film and the person that is created for essentially is so directly involved in the film. Right. Up until her death. Now, I do want to clarify, obviously Jennifer Hudson, she was in the movie Dreamgirls is a movie musical, but apparently just obviously, but also, this movie in particular, Aretha Franklin was directly involved in picking Jennifer Hudson. Yeah. So I definitely understand where you're coming from as far as, she doesn't sound like her. She doesn't look like her, but like you said, she's impossible to duplicate on screen and vocally, because she is just so talented as a, musician and just music personality in general, that's very difficult to do. But I trust her involvement behind the scenes. If Aretha Franklin says, yeah, you know what, that Hudson chick, she okay, let's do it. I'll believe it. I'll take whatever she says as gospel. No pun intended.
Hey, that's good. I like that. That's gospel. Yeah, good stuff. All right, we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's more coming from the film. Another trailer probably down the road here real soon, and we can enjoy it and see if more of the story is going to get involved here. And it better not be 90 minutes. You don't do Aretha in 90 minutes. You just don't. Aretha's
impossible.
Yeah, there's so much with Aretha. You can't just do it. I know it's just a slice of her life, but it better be longer than 90 minutes. And some great artists involved in this, actors and
a lot of performers.
Well. Yeah.
I do remember when Cadillac Records came out with Adrienne Brody and Beyonce. She actually played Aretha Franklin. Beyonce
she played Etta James, I think.
Oh, Etta James.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
That was a big controversy. Yeah.
Huge controversy. Also, Etta James. She was like, Beyonce can't sing.
Yeah. She really called out Beyonce, man. It was people were like this. And Etta James was so powerful in that community that even the Queen Bee followers were like, yeah, okay, we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, we're not gonna
mess with Etta. Etta will show up at your house. Etta will show up at your house. All right.
I will show up the house.
Super chat here. Flash 18487 says, we got the Yankees and that's all we need. Where's your football team again? Ouch.
Who cares?
Alex.
No, my football team is out there in LA.
All right, there you go. Out there in LA. You got your answer.
We don't do football here, and that's fine. We don't care about football. That's whatever. Where's your hockey team?
Oof. The LA
Where's
hockey
your
team?
hockey team, huh?
The LA hockey team?
Yeah.
The LA Kings, you mean?
Does anyone care about the LA Kings? I'm just like, I don't know what's going on with my lip.
Are you bleeding?
I'm just like, I guess it just keeps moving around. I don't know what's happening with this lip balm.
I like it.
But it's just not our focus, dude.
There you go.
Say?
Tim Pallone says, I've asked you in the past to share your favorite story about working at Universal. Can you share one of your worst guest encounters this time?
Do you have a Karen?
No, I don't have a Karen. I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you. Okay, this is an interesting story. And I know we're running out of time. We got about 16 minutes and 2 more stories to get to. But so All right. So working at Harry Potter, working as the wand keeper, doing that show, inside the room and what have you, people can get quite passionate about standing in line. And the way it works is that you stand in line. Nice one. The way it works is that you stand in line. I like that.
I have 4 wands.
I got my Mad Eye Moody one. I always have my Mad Eye Moody one ready to go.
Whammy.
Yeah. And standing in line, people get upset when there's 30 people. So the way they do it is everyone stands in line outside in the park, and then they put 30 people into a waiting area, and then you get which is inside. Then you get filtered into one of the rooms. There's 2 separate rooms. They're doing shows constantly. Well, in the show, one of the shows, there was this woman who came in with her kids, and apparently she felt that this Latino man and his son had cut in line and moved ahead of them. I don't think she understood that it was a room where there is no where everyone can mill around. You can you can stay in that room rather and move to the front or move to the back or in the middle, wherever you like. And she started a verbal altercation with this gentleman in front of her kids, in front of this gentleman's kids. And so I guess it was a Karen, because Karen was really upset that that she thought this gentleman, this Latino guy, had kind of cut in front, and he went off, and they both said some of the most horrific things to each other. And the thing is, when you're a performer, you can't break character. You can't break character. No matter what's happening, you cannot break character. So the person working with me, she was this small little girl. I felt so bad for her. So I came out because she was trying to keep them, and they were it was rising. So I came out from behind the desk, and I felt so bad for everybody. And I said, please, you cannot battle in here in this way. Please stop right now. And I stood in between them both, and I said, I don't want to put a spell on either of you to stop you. So please, can we have other people come in? So I called in the managers, verbally, loudly, before they closed the door, so they could come in. So this guy and this girl, yeah, they both came in, and they kind of shepherded the mother out and put her into another room so she could have the show. She had her own separate show. Her and her 5 kids had their own separate show. We did not put them in with another 30 people. So in a way, she got what she wanted, but she was so pissed off at this guy, and this guy was taking it, and then he just unleashed on her. And my boy had tats. My boy looked like, he'd had some hard experience in life. So he was just trying to do something fun with his child, and this just blew up out of nowhere, because there is no front of the line type of situation. When you go into that room, you can mill around and be in the front all the way around in a kind of L shape in that room. So it seemed unnecessary, and they just went at each other using the most horrific language and cuss words. And I just had to. So it was a hairy situation. And then I did the show. So it was a hairy situation all around. So it gets crazy in the park. It gets crazy in the park, man. No lie. So yeah, that's the most, probably the worst guest encounter I've ever had of all time. So
I love it when if I want to cuss someone out, my dude Paul Denuzio, what a weenie.
Yeah.
It's we have that relation. We're like siblings. I love the dude. Yeah. But it's just one of the, and I'm sure you have this relationship with other people where when we like to insult each other, we don't like to cuss at each other all that much, but right. We like to get creative with the insults.
Oh yeah.
I hope every room you enter, you step on a Lego.
Those are safe.
I hope your key lime pie is never tart.
Wow.
I get savage.
Those are strong. That's pretty savage. Do you think Paul will ever let go of the 4th round thing? Do you think he'll ever let go of it?
I don't know what that's referring to.
Oh, well, he just keeps, every time I mentioned on something, Paul comes in with a 4th round comment, 4th round this and 4th round that. Do you think he'll ever let it go?
I don't know what it is. What is it?
Don't you joke.
No, I don't.
You know about the 4th round thing for me as a schmodown. I got selected in the 4th round. Everyone's like,
oh, that.
Yeah, he holds on to it.
Okay, for some reason when he said 4th round, when I spelled it on my head, I pictured it as saying 4th realm.
Oh yeah, the 4th realm. Yes, the 4th
realm. And I was like, what does 4th realm mean? Is that like a game reference?
Yeah,
or something? What is
The Last of Us Part 3.
Oh.
There's a 4th realm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a weenie. Whatever. You know,
I'm like, the joke is dead already. The joke is dead. It's just all crap. You know?
He paints on his mustache every day out of sheer desperation. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Speaking of, speaking of, men that like painting their mustaches on, Taika Waititi.
Oh, you got there. Shout out to Alex. She got there. Nice segue. Go ahead.
See what I did there. Taika Waititi, one man that's no stranger to controversial characters, also starring as Hitler. And, in a little movie called Jojo Rabbit. That would be so delightful. I just saw that for the first time the other day. Delightful.
It's a very good film.
So good. But Taika Waititi is actually going to be penning 3 colonization-themed projects. He is obviously hot off his, best adapted screenplay, not Green Day, at Oscar, obviously. Yeah. But also, he is like one of the hottest directors right now, being involved with so many different projects. He's been involved. He's doing MCU movies. He's arguably did the best MCU movie, arguably. So,
Ragnarok. Wow.
Arguably.
Strong statement. Okay.
Arguably. But he's not so much going to be directing all 3 films, but he is going to be playing them, be directly involved in different roles. So the first story, it's going to be he's going to be employing specifically Maori writers from New Zealand. Obviously, he is a man that is of Maori descent as well, and he's very publicly so. But each of the writers will offer an indigenous eye on the effects of colonialism, and obviously I feel like, now more than ever, it's really great to have that conversation and really kind of, take it with sometimes maybe more of a dramedy tone, such as, with Jojo Rabbit. It's really curious. The first one being The Imaginary Lives of James Poneke, about a curious Maori teen who adventures to London in the 1840s to appear as a live exhibit amongst the artifacts at a museum. Initially, he joins the attention and the hedonism of London, but soon discovers he cannot get past being labeled as a savage. Yeah. And this is, this was applied to a lot of people, not only like obviously with Maori and New Zealand people, but also a lot of other people. A lot of different cultures, going back to Britain as well, for these purposes. The second story is a film adaptation of Angela Dravitz's award-winning comedy show Down the Rabbit Hole, which tells her story running away to marry someone 3 times her age. It's so weird, such a weird story, on the other side of the world before landing in a female British prison. So A to B. How did that happen? Yeah. A place where she ended up inadvertently and ironically finds herself, that happens, when you go to prison, I guess. But the script is going to be done by Briar Gates Smith, but also going to be directing it. So like I mentioned, Taika Waititi is not going to be so much, not only exclusively directing them, but he's going to be indirectly involved in these movies overall. But the third and final story that he's going to be involved with is Michael Bennett and Jane Holland's a TV crime thriller, Better the Blood. Is a film adaptation of this crime thriller, which follows an obsessive Maori detective as she hunts down indigenous serial killer that's revenging the wrongs of New Zealand colonizers. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. The drama is so there, and I'm super excited. I just like, the idea of making World War II funny or Hitler funny. I remember thinking, what? Yeah. But knowing it's in the hands of Taika Waititi just makes me much more confident in this, and I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to play out. Usually with this dramedy tone.
Absolutely, I enjoy him very much, and I obviously, What We Do in the Shadows, one of those quiet little films. Taika Waititi is like people felt about Peter Jackson when they saw The Frighteners. They were like, "Oh, this guy, you got to watch this guy. This guy is like your favorite indie comedy, your favorite indie group, and they have their first album or their second album or LP or CD, whatever it is, and you love it, and you're like, I knew them when. They're blowing up now, but you know what? Their earlier stuff, that was the best." But Taika's one of these guys that has really he's never kind of embraced that Hollywood thing. He is very much his own person, very much self-deprecating, making fun of everything, and being playful. You watch him on the behind the scenes for the Disney Mandalorian series that they just dropped, which if you haven't watched on Disney Plus, do yourself a favor and watch each one of those episodes. Really incredible stuff. When Taika shows up, you can tell the reverence and the understanding he has for the material that he's working with, but also the fact that he doesn't take it too seriously, which is a great balance. It's a great balance. balance. He respects it, but doesn't take it too seriously. And it works really well. And you see that in his work. So to see him tackling these subjects, I think is a great way to use your platform. How many people just want to succeed? Who are of color and don't necessarily think about what to do with their platform to tell more stories about people of color, tell more stories about, their own upbringings or people or their history of their country or their culture. It's fascinating to see that when it happens, and it's always well received for people who are people of color. So I love that Taika is willing to do this. I like that third one. I love the idea of a good, detective hunting down serial killer story, and the fact that it has that extra added thing where it's a Maori person doing it, getting back at the colonizers for destroying the culture. And that takes a whole, new level of resonance with what's happening now in our world. So I think this is just the perfect time for Taika to do stuff like this. And people only have cursory knowledge of the Maori culture. So to have it be a little more fleshed out in 3 projects like this, I think can be nothing but a positive effect on the world and a positive effect on moviegoers or people who are going to consume this media.
Yeah, absolutely. It just sounds like a very fun time. And not only that, we just don't have very many stories about Maori culture, in general as it is. So I'm excited to see this expansion. He can do no wrong. I love his movies. Hunt for Wilder People, What We Do in the Shadows. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. So to see it play out, I'm excited.
Yeah. Movie Master asks, what about the Akira project? Well, looks like that's going to be in the
happening, dude.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I would love it. It's just not.
It's going to be a while before that one happens. That's for sure. That's for damn sure.
It's just not.
All right. Well, we're at 213 likes. We did have one more story, but I guess we can push it, Alex. We got to wrap up here. I got to jump on SCN Live at 10 o'clock. Just letting you know, it was about The Boys season 2. Watch all that stuff. It looks like fun. If you're the Boys fan on Amazon Prime, definitely watch the trailers for season 2. Looks fantastic. Got a new character coming in, so go and watch that. All right, Alex. Tell them one last time where they can find you and what you got going on.
At the Call to Action Podcast on Twitter, as well as YouTube. Dude, search for it, Call to Action Podcast, and I'm there. It's like a big yellow and black letters. It looks so spiffy. We made that. And so definitely check that out. But also, I'm on Twitter. I say funny stuff sometimes, but mostly I like to update you guys on other major movies I am about to see for the first time. And I let you know the real important stuff, like what's my Hogwarts house. So, you gotta, follow me if you want to stay in the know. It's the way it is.
Yeah. That's
Get
the way it is.
together.
I like it. Break it down. And shout out to Alex for being able to make the show today. It was touch and go. She was a little tired. What's that?
It was a struggle bus. I was up till like 3 a.m. last night recording. Struggle.
Oh, wow. 3 a.m.
It was real.
I remember being that young. All right, you can follow me at the Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Be a part of the world of the Outlaw Nation. So much happening here. We're building. We're getting stronger and stronger. The views are going up. The comments are going up. The likes are going up. Everything is happening for this channel. Come in and get on the ground floor. Shout out to the 2 people who signed up already or subscribed rather to the channel, Quiet Lee and Orlando Salazar. Thank you for coming aboard on the Outlaw Nation channel. Subscribe down below. Like and share this video on your social media. When you share it, you're telling your followers and your fans that you like this show and that you like this channel, so maybe they'll come aboard and take a chance on it as well. So please, that's how you can help the show. If you can't give in donations in Streamlabs or Super Chats or what have you, or join the Patreon, at least you can share the show. That's another way that you're really helping us grow as well. So thank you all so much for joining us here. We'll figure out what we're going to do, either drop a pre-recorded Q&A show on Friday, or we might go dark on Friday for mornings, but we will definitely be back the next Monday live for our mornings with the Outlaw. So for Alex Shashek, I am John Rocha. Have yourself a great rest of your Monday. It's the beginning of the week. Do something really positive for yourself to get closer to what you want to do in this world. And like Soul says, go and find your passion. Go and live your passion. Do something that makes you happy. And we'll talk to you next time on Mornings with the Outlaw.
And wear your mask.
Wear your damn mask.